You're doing. Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of On Tyranny. We have a very special guest today, Adam Weiner from Low Cut Connie. Um, and I think this conversation is going to go a little different than the other ones we've had because you're so bold in what you've been saying about what's going on in the country. Um, so this I think it's going to be a really special conversation. Um, you have Vietnam came out in early July, and it's being it's called a protest album. And personally, I've been waiting for some band or some artist to put out a protest song or a protest album because what's been going on. Did you do that in part because you saw like a deficit of artists speaking out and you wanted to put something really bold forward or
Not really, if I'm being honest. I've been writing, you know, from the heart and commenting on what's going on in society in America for many, many years.
yeah.
Um, and things are just worse than they've ever been, and I just I write what I feel. Um, have I been frustrated and a bit confused that there haven't been more artists um, writing social commentary and protest material, not just this year, but for many years?
Yeah.
Yes, it's been very disconcerting.
Mhm.
There are a lot of great artists though that have been.
Mhm.
It just doesn't the music business as we know it, what we see, which is so focused on pop music these days.
Mhm.
There's been almost none in terms of social commentary and protest music
Yeah.
for many, many years. Um,
Yeah.
I'm kind of like a little cult artist in an island. Have a I don't have a corporate label that I have to answer to or a big management company. I'm kind of my own boss.
Yeah.
And so I just do what I feel. And I really, really felt this was the time to do a full protest album, not just one song, two songs, but
Yeah.
have my entire campaign and the album be a protest record.
Yeah. Yeah. You got me thinking back to the Iraq War and like the Dixie Chicks are the only people that really spoke out against it. Um, or if people had negative opinions about the war, they used like metaphors or indirect language to talk about it. That's why your record is just so awesome. It's very authentic, which is a word that's used way too much these days. But I think it really applies to what you've done. Was there, when
Thank
did you decide to make this record? Was there something that happened that triggered it, like the formation?
Well, I'm always recording like throughout the year, all the time. There are a lot of artists that they'll like take a year to write an album and then they'll take a year to make it and then they put it out and they tour and then they hibernate for a year. That's not me.
Yeah.
I'm working 12 months a year every year performing, writing, recording. And so I'm just always putting pennies in the jar of
Love
new
it.
songs.
That's awesome.
And many, many, many years ago, I was on tour in England, and it was a very different time in our history. And I was feeling extremely homesick,
Mm.
and I was on this crazy 9 week tour alone,
Wow.
solo.
Oh my God.
And I started writing this song, "Living in England," because I was there so long, I felt like I was living there.
Yeah.
And I started writing this song, "Living in England," but it's not my home.
Mm.
And it was basically a song about being homesick and feeling really alienated,
Mm.
um, being abroad.
Yeah.
And like a lot of songs, and a lot of great things in life, you got to kind of keep them in the oven until they're really ready. And I felt like the song just it wasn't up to my standards and it wasn't ready.
Yeah.
And a few years ago, I the more I traveled around the country, because I do 80 shows a year and I go to almost every state constantly. Like you're in Boise,
Yeah.
I've been in Boise, I don't know, probably 5 times in the last 3 years, like and I just talk to people, I see how they're living, and I've just been seeing these changes happening in our society,
Yeah.
and specifically this trend of dehumanization that's really it's not new. It's been happening for a while, but it's reaching a fever pitch now. And you could look at it both in different areas. One of the areas is in terms of unhoused populations, like people who sleep on the street, and the way that our society has, a lot of people have reframed this as they're like subhuman because they don't have a home.
Right.
And there are cities and municipalities making it illegal
Yeah.
and really treating unhoused people like they're not human.
Yeah.
You obviously right now we're focused on immigration, and there is a currency of dehumanization that allows these activities to happen on a mass scale where people um they look at people in their towns and cities and communities as less than human, and so it's okay to treat them
Yeah.
as such.
Mm.
And so all these different areas where I see a trend of dehumanization led to me pulling that song out of the oven, living in England, and how alienated I felt in my little way over there. And suddenly I realized that this song, what it really wanted to be, was a song about living in here, living in the USA, and feeling despondent and alienated.
Mm. Mm.
And the record just kind of went from there. I had my sort of my thesis statement,
Yeah.
and the songs just came from there.
Yeah. Um, just a couple points I wanted to make. Like, it is, this is supposedly is about immigration, but it's also about quashing dissent from anybody who wants to speak up and oppose um, the regime. And I studied in Chile, Santiago, Chile, for 6 months, and this country's turning into that kind of a place where even after a dictator leaves, it takes decades to rebuild a society and have people not be so fearful all the time. Um, and I don't think people understand the long-term damage and how much wreckage there's going to be to clean up, especially with like American culture. It's just to like instant gratification and you get what you want right away. It's not going to happen, I don't think, after he is gone. Um, but yeah, that's really, I was thinking about like if you come to the U.S., it used to be that you could just like walk through, to meet the person outside who's picking you up. But now you come to the U.S., you go through TSA, which is only 20 years old, how many times, and now with ice there, it's got to be a very, very hostile feeling to enter the United States, which is not what we're about. We're supposed to be welcoming, you know.
Yeah, and one of the reasons I made this album and announced it when and how I did is to remind people who feel hopeless,
Mhm.
remind people that feel powerless, that we have more tools
Yeah.
than we realize. And for me,
Yeah.
look, I'm just a little rock and roll singer. Uh, I want to remind my colleagues
Yeah.
that music matters, art matters. And if you go all through history, as societies have faced authoritarian, autocratic regimes, periods, um, art really can make a difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
And unfortunately, when you're talking about this sort of trend towards censorship and cracking down on dissent, unfortunately now it's kind of so widespread
Yeah.
that the platforms that we use as a utility every day are now engaging in this kind of censorship.
Yeah.
And so you do have to take a minute and recognize that, that these tech platforms are not our friends.
Right.
And we kind of like can't wait for the cavalry to come and save us. That being said, artists need to remember we don't work for these tech industries,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Our, our music, our books, our films, our work, it's not just content for social media platforms and AI. That's not why we make things. We make things for people. We make things to span time and resonate with people and culture. We have used these tech platforms as a utility during this age, but we should never lose sight that our job, like my job, is to write great songs, sing them great, perform great, make people feel something, make people feel good, bring a message to people,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
And that's what my heroes in music have done. And a song can change the world.
Yeah.
A song can change the world. It can change the way people think. It can change the way people feel. And I just wanted to remind my artist friends and my friends who just love art and work with art, don't put your head in the sand. Get loud now. Get busy now. Let's make the best art that we've ever made.
Hmm. Yeah. That's so well put. It's just beautiful what you said. Um, I do have friends like who they said they had no power over what's going on. I tried to tell them, well, you don't have to just protest. You can make phone calls or donations or just talk to people about what's going on. And I say what's going on. I say what's going on because of Marvin Gaye and the
Yeah.
impact that that song had culturally. Um, and it, you know, really brought a lot of issues to the fore. Um, and now we live in a society that's so compartmentalized and fragmented. You know, it's harder to band together, which is why the protests for No Kings and what's happened in Minneapolis is just so incredible. Like you said, we have tools that we can use, and I mean Minnesota is just this like I don't remember a time in my life where protesting actually worked, but it seems that like it might have had an impact. It may impact this time.
It does and it is. It does and it is. Because the worst thing we can do as a society is to slumber,
Right.
and just watch and and be quietly kind of like that. I have the benefit of, for my job, meeting people and going to all parts of America, rural, urban, blue state, red state, big city, and bumblefuck little towns. I meet people, I talk to them, I see the character of people where they're at.
Mhm.
And look, they have the power right now, but they don't have the people.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Hmm.
This is not uh this is not popular. This regime is not popular.
Yeah,
There is a percentage cult that will always support what this regime is doing. It's
yeah,
unshakable, but no one thinks that they are the majority. Nobody thinks that.
yeah,
That
yeah,
is not the case.
yeah.
And there are artists that I look up to, and you mentioned Marvin Gaye with What's Going On. We could talk about Bob Marley, we could talk about Bob Dylan, but I'm going to reference one of my favorite artists of all time, Sly and the Family Stone, one of the greatest bands of all
Oh,
time,
yeah,
who turned uh, protest music into dance music,
yeah,
into popular music.
yeah,
When
yeah.
you listen to the Stand album by Sly and the Family Stone, and you listen to Everyday People and
Mhm.
Stand, and Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself Again, all these songs from that era, uh, I Want to Take You Higher, that they really were protest songs.
Mhm.
And what he did with his band and his performances, which was a black and white men and women integrated band in a time when that was completely revolutionary.
Yeah,
Uh, what he did with his music, it was joyful, it was uplifting, it was party music. You could play it at a wedding, but it was protest music.
mhm.
And that's what I'm aspiring to do with this new album of mine is to try to make music that's social commentary music, but that actually still you can enjoy and can and you could put on at your barbecue this summer,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. And people who are more reticent to take a stand, and just watching what's happening, and not acting. Um, I try to tell them, like, in 10 or 20 years, well, you look back saying you didn't participate, in a historical moment, and you know, I have one friend who's like really big into meditation, and he just says, "I have no control." And I interviewed Jonathan Richman, and he was like, he had a similar take, which is like, you just have to accept what's happening. And I could disagree more with those things. Yeah, I started this series, and this is like episode 105 or something. Um, Both to learn more about artists and just their situation like this, but also to show their fans that they can speak out, and that you know um, there's a solidarity among the people who do. So um, it's been really cool to be having these conversations because they're all different, and but
I've seen a shift in the last couple months. I will tell you that last year, like 2025, because I did put out two two protest songs last year, um, and watching the way they were received, watching, listening to what people had to say to me, they were, you know, my fans dug the songs, but I got my show canceled because of one song, and
really,
the Luzerne County in Pennsylvania, the county commissioner canceled my performance there and said that my music was propaganda.
oh my God.
And it was allowed, it was allowed to happen, and it, the county allowed that to happen, and a bunch of people said to me, maybe you should just stop singing that song, and maybe you should just focus on singing the songs that everybody already knows. And I was shocked that there was this sort of quiet quitting happening last year where people were just feeling defeated, feeling afraid, and so they were kind of laying down and just taking it. Um, that is not the theme of 2026, and that's why I'm coming out
Hmm.
swinging early this year, letting people know we got to protest. We got to use our music, our art, our voices. We got to rally our communities. We've got to get loud now, and I see it starting to happen.
Mm.
Um, and that should be the theme, not just of this year, but all times. We
Yeah,
should never allow ourselves to lose our sense of what's right and wrong,
yeah.
and and we should never allow ourselves to be quieted.
Mhm.
That is a central part of American identity is expression. And when we lose that, we lose more than just elections. We lose who we are, you
Yep.
know?
And then we can't relate to each other. We become more isolated. And then Timothy Snyder's book on tyranny says that isolating people in the public uh, is an authoritarian like tool to divide and make people feel despondent and alone. Um, and another one is self-censorship. It's actually his first like featured in his book about authoritarian regimes is they create a climate where you just don't say anything out of fear, and it becomes automatic over time. Um, I do want to ask with the album if there was some Bruce Springsteen influence because of the title. Uh,
Well, look, Kurt, I grew up in the 80s in New Jersey. I'm from New Jersey. So you do the math, right? Um,
Right.
like
Yeah.
I've got a lot of different musical and performing heroes, but Bruce has been like a North Star to me since I was a child, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
in a lot of different ways,
Mhm.
not just for his songwriting and performance, but who he is, how he carries himself, what he stands up for.
Yeah.
And so I grew up with that Born in the USA album. It wasn't directly my intention to write something or put something out that was related to Born in the USA,
Mhm.
but if the association is there, I don't mind that because that's a truly great album that people still it matters to a lot of people today, and those
Mhm.
songs still resonate. Um, when I announced my album a couple weeks ago, I referenced a few albums that were kind of inspiring to me, and that's one of them. Uh, but also Prince has an album called Sign of the Times.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, also is like a social commentary record while also being a party record.
Yeah.
It does both things. Sly and the Family Stone stand, Sly and the Family Stone, there's a riot going on.
Yeah.
And also an album, Creedence Clearwater Revival, Willie and the Poor Boys,
Mhm.
is another record that you go from Fortunate Son. It's social commentary, protest music, and party music together,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. Your statement said something along the lines of like I'm not gonna let them take away my happiness and um ability to have fun.
Yeah, we cannot let them steal our joy.
There we go.
Look
Yeah.
at Bob Marley music.
Yeah.
Look how Bob Marley's music not only in some ways changed history for his country, Jamaica. Look how his music continues to resonate with
Yeah.
the underclasses all over the world
Mhm.
today.
Yeah.
Uh, but look how he did it with uplifting, joyful music.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Hmm.
one love, get up, stand up. These are uplifting, fun songs people love.
Hmm.
Uh, and just because it's protest music doesn't mean it has to be quiet or depressing or very intellectual. Like
Yeah.
there's different ways of getting messages across, you know.
I got a chill when you talked about a gig being canceled because I'm in touch right now with a woman who is in Warsaw because she got kicked out of Belarus for singing a song, and she's not allowed back in the country, and um, she's part of the story I'm going to be telling. Um, and then another band in Turkey, um, their their concert was canceled, and now they're fearing reprisals from the government. Um, so when you said that you had a gig canceled, that it's chilling because it's part of the authoritarian playbook, you know?
Well, that let me say that I hope that that was a 2025 thing.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hope like these people in Pennsylvania, they thought that they were doing the right thing by canceling my show.
mhm,
Um, they thought they were protecting their community.
right,
Um, but they really messed up because people, I mean, media around the world covered that story and people were really angry. And then, of course, they replaced me with an AC/DC cover band that had a registered sex offender in the band. Um,
sounds
I
about right.
think I think that um, I think when you look at what's going on in Minneapolis,
Yeah,
as depressing, as chilling, as agonizing as it is to watch, we should all be inspired by the people of
yeah,
Minneapolis and St. Paul and how they've reacted
it's incredible. It's incredible, really.
and how they've kept a steady hand.
Yeah,
Um, I'm going
and
to be
how?
there in a couple weeks. I can't wait to see all my friends there. But
Yeah,
this is an example of character that we
right.
all need to display, strength of character.
Yes, yes. It's almost like people are rediscovering the concept of having a neighbor in like real community, not just a buzzword.
I call it being a tough cookie. You know, you got to be a tough cookie.
Yeah,
And what do I mean by that? I mean two things. You got to be tough, strong, resilient. Do not be don't shrink from a fight.
right.
Don't put your tail between your legs. Be strong and tough.
Hmm.
Two, you got to be a cookie. And when I say a cookie, I mean you're sweet and you're compassionate and you care.
I love it. Oh my God, it's so awesome. Yeah,
And we shouldn't lose either thing.
yeah,
And on stage, I remind people you can be tough and compassionate at the same time.
that's right. Hmm.
And that is something we need to really develop uh, and show our kids
Yeah.
and show our kids that you can be tough and strong
Hmm.
and face down bullies while being compassionate for your community, your country,
Yeah.
and for the future, you know? Tough cookie, baby.
I love it. Yeah, you have to see, I mean, to see the corporations and the tech guys fold and the lawsuit settlements have happened. Uh, what did it do? What did it do for them?
Uninspiring.
It's like
That is the opposite of being a tough cookie.
exactly.
You know, but you know what, Kurt? Again, we're reminded that we shouldn't rely on corporate America or the tech platforms to save us and to be, you know, watching out for us to make sure things don't go too far. No,
Mhm.
they folded so quickly, so many institutions, you know, and
It was sickening. It was sickening to see that. Sorry.
no, I agree, but that was 2025. This is
Yeah.
2026, and that's what my living in the USA record and campaign and tour is about: is getting loud and being tough cookies. We're strong. We're brave.
Yeah. You can't lament what's already happened. You have to be hopeful, yeah, and contribute to the future and rebuild America in a way that this wouldn't happen again, hopefully. Um, but yeah, the other thing about Minneapolis is, just like how nice they are to each other and neighborly, and they developed all these systems of communicating with whistles. It's remarkable, that people can come together under dire circumstances, Um, it- and it's just, I agree with you. I think this year is going to be, it has to be a positive year. I don't believe in giving up on hope because it's the only thing you have in the end. There's no other option than
No, and our kids and future generations are we owe it to them.
yes,
Like we're gonna have to talk about this time period
yeah,
for better or for worse for a long time. So let's be part of the solution. Let's be part of the good trouble that we need to get into, you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
And for me, like I'm a little rock and roll singer. For me, I'm doing it with my music and my performances. That's how I'm doing it.
Hmm.
And there's a lot of different ways that people can use their voices and help their community and be move things in a better direction. We all can contribute in different ways, and it's time to, you know, shake off the doldrums of 2025, the
Yeah.
depression of 2025, and channel our anger into something good. See, I posted a video the other day, Kurt. I was talking about Mr. Rogers,
Mhm.
one of my heroes.
Yeah.
Mr. Rogers used to say, he used to ask this question: what do you do with the mad that you feel? You know, talking to
Mhm.
kids, when you feel angry, well, okay, what do you do with it? It's natural to feel angry.
Yeah.
So I'm asking a lot of my audience, what do you do with the mad that you feel? We're all pissed off. We're
Yeah.
all angry. And what I tell people is, don't try to hide that you're angry. It's good that you're angry. You are right to be angry
That's right.
because
Yeah.
it means that you care. It means that you care.
Yeah.
You're angry because you care.
Such a great point.
And tough cookies care. They have compassion. They don't like what they're seeing. They get angry. Now, what are we going to do? That's the conversation for 2026. What are we going to do? Let's get active.
Yeah. Yeah. I was a little resentful of baby boomers over the last decade or so because they all have houses and my generation's not going to have houses, and but thank God they're around because they can relay those stories about the civil rights movement to like a younger generation, and they know how to organize and mobilize in strategic ways, so it's good to have them around. um
Yes.
to be there because so much of it is like history fading allows this kind of stuff to happen. um when wars are forgotten about, um you know there's not that same shell shock reaction that people feel. Um, so it's new to us in a lot of ways, I guess. But like, there are two Americas. I think people who are standing up and people who are not. Um, and I hope there'll be more people standing up this year, like you're saying. Yeah, that's really cool what you're doing. Um, yeah,
Thank you, man.
yeah.
You too, baby. You too.
Yeah, try to. So the tour is going to be how long? Have you booked all the dates yet, or?
Well, I'm doing my first ever solo tour, like full big solo tour, 15 cities. It starts on March 3rd in Chicago. I'm doing 15 cities. And then when the album comes out in July, uh, that's when we start the full band living in the USA proper tour, summer and fall, and we're going everywhere. And I'm really excited about it because people are fired up,
Yeah.
and it's time to gather. Let's get together and process how we're feeling and make some noise.
Mhm.
Um, I hope I get to see you in Boise. I told you before we started talking, one of my favorite cities to play. Uh, if people watching this have never been to Boise, man, it is such a groove.
Yeah.
There's great people, great food, great music. I just really like it there.
We've
But
had.
I'm gonna
Sorry.
I'm gonna try and get everywhere. I want to see everybody this year.
Yeah. We have big turnouts for protests here in Boise. It's a red state, crimson red state. But we do have the marches and other forms of protests here. Well, we're almost out of time, so I just want to thank you for your insights and your courage and what you're doing. Um, it's been a real honor to talk with you. I should have warned you at the beginning that I have a stutter. It's just like,
No, man, you did great. It's great talking to you. It was a pleasure to be on the show. I hope I get to see you and talk to you soon.
yeah, man.
And everybody that's listening, watching, just be a tough cookie.
Yeah,
And I got you, you got me, we got each other, baby.
that's right. That's right. We're not alone. There's thinking just like us, and we have to get together. So, well, good luck with the tour, and I'll try to find you a tree fort.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you, Kurt. I appreciate you, man.
I really appreciate